Thank you everyone for being so patient with the release of this video. It took a lot longer to get out than I hoped. That's because my editor slaves escaped. But since then I have opened up a Patreon if you want to support the show. Any amount helps, but don't feel pressured to donate if you don't have the money to or you don't want to. Videos will happen nonetheless, whether this gets supported or not. It just helps me get more funds, to get more props and upgrade equipment to make the quality of videos go up. Like with the money I've made off the episode so far, I bought myself a nice camera. So that means we no longer have to have a shitty phone quality with a cracked camera lens. But I don't want that to come off as bragging. I just want to say that this couldn't be done without you guys. So without further ado, welcome to Everything Wrong with Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 3 Part 2. It's finally time to move the plot forward. No longer do we have to sit through a meaningless filler arc for 25 episodes that really added a lot to the Kaiba storyline. It really made me care for Mokuba and not the fact that he's an annoying fucking kid.
Hey, but Alex, isn't it super deep? Look how tragic their backstory was.
I don't give a flying fuck. Yeah, this must have been so important, just like the fact that everyone goes back to normal and acts like this never fucking happens. And the only time this is ever brought up again is in a flashback in the last episode by Taya. Also in the last episode by Kaiba as he's leaving the island. I don't give a fuck what any of you idiots say. That arc was garbage and it was filler, and fuck anyone who says otherwise. Let's calm down a bit because that season's done and over with. Don't have to ever fucking talk about it ever again. And to all you fuckers who tell me that Yugi's height isn't actually changing, just look at this shit. He's has a literal height difference from this shot to this shot.
How did that fool make it this far?
I literally wonder this every day, but then I remember that plot armor exists. The four-way duel was actually a neat idea, but of course it isn't going to come without its own stupid bullshit to weigh it down.
Dueling decks to no more than 40 cards.
Wait, their deck limit is only to 40 now? How many have they been playing with this whole fucking time? Joey seems like the type of guy who'd play 120 cards in his deck because they're all the best cards and he can't possibly cut any of them down.
But who should I pick?
This is anime. You should know better than anyone that you are going to fight the main villain that they've been building up this whole fucking time in the finale, and they can't have it any other way. You think writers would try to be different and do something else? Fuck no. Because idiots like you guys eat this shit up.
Oh my god, did you see how cool it was? That Goku be doing?
Congratulations. You are feeding uncreativity and showing them that, yes, we don't have to be different because this shit will sell like hotcakes no matter what. What's that? Maya's about to beat Merrick? Fuck no. Time to pull some bullshit out our asses because she can't beat him. Oh, what's that? Joey's gonna win? Ha! In a million years, retard. How is anyone supposed to see the attack points of their monsters if their fingers are blocking it? Even in the context of the Japanese version, they're still blocking the attack points on the card. This could be just some Mandela effect bullshit, but I could have sworn earlier in the show that they were entering their spell and trap cards on the outside of the duel disc. But you see here they're entering them on the inside. I could be completely wrong with this and just remembering because the real life duel discs, you enter them on the outside, but I could have sworn. I will look through all the footage, hopefully, if I don't get too lazy. If I don't, I don't. But I will try to find it.
Oh man, this hand is the pits.
Wow, it's almost like Joey's deck is a bunch of inconsistent boss monsters he's taken from other people jammed together with a bunch of other bullshit. It's not like I've been saying this since minute 1 of the show. So apparently Skull Dice was a spell card in this shot of the Japanese version, but 4Kids changed it to be a trap just like it is in the real game, so I guess I have to give them credit because they did something right for once.
Gotta relax, play it cool. I'll place one card face down and end my turn.
Why not at least just set the Skull Dice to protect yourself so you would take less damage when they go to attack you?
At that moment, the doors to the future were opened up to me, and I saw Merrick's destiny unfold.
I still don't understand why Shizu didn't just stop Merrick from stealing Ra. If she could see the future and clearly knew this was going to happen, why not just intercept him from stealing it, like she did with Obelisk the Tormentor? You're just as at fault as Merrick is. You let Odeon and Mai basically die for nothing.
Mirror Force! Deflect the attack back at Yugi, so your monster's destroyed.
You can't just redirect Mirror Force to the opponent you want. It stops the person who's attacking. Ah, the classic cut to commercial break, and when it fades back in, you have one of your useless side characters explain step by step what just happened. I get this is supposed to be made for kids, but are kids really this fucking stupid that you have to do it? I guess anyone who's stupid enough to idolize retards like Jake Paul and Rice Gum would need everything to be explained to them like this.
This four-way duel is confusing. What's the score?
How is Taya confused with the score? It literally says everyone's life points on a big prompter on the wall. But the animators did forget to change the numbers, so I guess there's a reason that she'd have to ask. Good old Ring of Destruction, being festive just in time for the holiday season by censoring the grenades with red Christmas bulbs. This launch thing seems incredibly unsafe if you're just propelling them upward and they're just standing on this platform, not secured at all. I can see this ending up like the amusement park ride The Abyss Turbo Drop, where it flies all the way up and the fucking mechanic doesn't stop it, so it just keeps flying with all the people attached on. Like, just imagine Joey's getting shot up and woo right off the fucking tower.
It's high tech. I'll call.
Yeah, it's totally not like it's 2004 where landlines are already an established thing in almost in every single household, you smug little cunt.
If memory serves me, that Egyptian god card knocked you out cold.
Yeah, Joey, you were knocked out by being struck by lightning. That means you're a terrible duelist. We also completely forgot the fact that it almost killed Odeon, but I guess that wasn't important enough to remember.
Joey!
How the fuck did she hear that all the way down there? On Merrick's duel disc, you can see that Drillago is drawn as a normal monster, but it is an effect monster. So why is Joey taking damage when the attack of Panther War is being lowered? It was stated earlier that it's only when monsters are destroyed.
He must want me to attack his Helpoemir so he can spring its special ability on me.
Joey even acknowledges he shouldn't attack Helpoemir because it could have an effect engrave. I guess all the zapping is lowering his IQ even further.
So what's the deal with that card Merrick stuck in Joey's graveyard?
Fuck you, Taya. There is literally no reason you should not understand what Merrick's card does. He just stated that it rips a card out of Joey's hand once per turn. Oh no, they left the Japanese art of Foolish Burial, the tombstone with the cross on. I wonder if there was actually any backlash of some sort, or did nothing happen because no one actually fucking cares, yet 4Kids makes it their goal to censor as much as they can get away with.
It just took my Insect Queen!
It's mighty convenient that Helpoemir only seems to be taking his boss monsters, despite the fact that he has other cards in his hand. What the fuck is that background? They just forget to draw one like, fuck it, just put some distorted purple static, the kids won't notice it. What's up with Joey's face in these last few episodes? It looks like he's melting. Is this also an effect of a shadow duel? Lava Golem makes you take 1,000 damage, but I guess they did have to change it so Joey just didn't die in 3 turns. How else are they gonna milk it for 6 episodes?
Hard to increase the attack points of your plasma eel. Once that happens, your machine duplication goes bye-bye.
If Joey increased the attack of the eels, it wouldn't make them go away because it exceeds the limit of Machine Dupe's attack requirement. You can't undo an action that's already happened.
I'll activate Ra's ability of instant attack so it can attack now!
Here comes Ra's 17th new secret ability.
And finish him off so you can save the world!
That was the cheesiest fucking transition I've ever seen. Once again, Merrick won by a bunch of bullshit and asspulls, and people keep defending him that he's a great villain. So in the dub, they're playing up Merrick as being this untouchable, unbeatable force, but in the Japanese version, Merrick is visibly hurt and throws up after finishing his duel with Joey. I'm not really sure why they needed to cut these scenes out. How the fuck did you get 70 life points?
Then he'll need this.
Yeah, just move this severely injured patient to put a fucking clunky ass dual disc on him while he's unconscious. Great idea. That'll make him feel better.
From some evil thingy.
Evil thingy? Really? You couldn't have used any other descriptor for this?
We're right here.
Good.
Don't worry, Yugi. We're always sitting on the sidelines because we have nothing else to add to the plot. Like how the show has to keep cutting back to us while you're dueling Kaiba while we're sitting in the plane to remind the viewers of our existence. Change of Heart isn't a quick play spell, so how is Yugi able to activate it on Kaiba's turn? Enemy controller requires you to tribute one monster in order to take one, so at the end of the day, he would still only have 2 monsters on his side of the field. God damn it, 4Kids, stop getting things right so I have to keep praising you. In the Japanese version, Light Force Swords was a spell card, but in the 4Kids version, they changed it to a trap like it is in real life. Lullaby of Obedience requires you to pay 2,000 life points. Exchange isn't a quick play spell, so it's still Kaiba's turn, so Yugi could not activate this card.
I'm getting bored, and so are my fans.
All your fans are holograms, so they can't get bored.
Now I can see how you were able to defeat my sister.
But all he's really done is just summon 3 monsters and fuse them together while Yugi pretty much bricked and is playing safe. So right here you can see Yugi has 3 cards in his hand and Jax Knight in the other one. One of those we know is Slifer. So once he summons Slifer, he only has 2 cards. So where did that extra card come from?
Down on card is the Life Shaver trap he took from me!
This whole dilemma could have been easily avoided if you just set Life Shaver before activating Exchange. They keep acting like XYZ Dragon Cannon can be attributed to Summon Obelisk, but it's one monster. It isn't counted as 3, and it's not like ABC Dragon Buster where it can split back into its original 3 parts. You're just stuck with it.
Has deafened your Sky Dragon with its extremely powerful shriek. And since your monster couldn't hear your command, I'm afraid your attack is cancelled out!
So apparently because your monster can't hear you, you can't conduct an attack now.
Not really sure what it is with this season, but instead of just changing card effects, they decided to make everything a quick play spell, like card destruction. I guess maybe in an attempt to make the duels seem more interactive instead of just them standing around talking, maybe summoning one monster, attacking, and then cutting back to the other idiots who add nothing to this fucking plot, but exist for some reason.
Hey Yugs, you know you're my best friend! Pizza, pasta, fucking lasagna!
Oh, look at that. Kaiba just happened to have this one card that was useful in this hyper-specific instance that we'll never see again. Did you really think I'd stop mentioning that?
Dealing 4,000 points of damage to everything in its path!
Where did this deal 4,000 damage from sacrificing 2 monsters come from? During the simulation duel in episode 52, all it did was increase its attack. And then later they changed it so it would destroy all the monsters on the field. Now it's destroy all the monsters on the field and deal 4,000 damage. It doesn't even mention this on the Wikia, so take that, you fuckers who go,
Hey, you sure just read the wiki? It's all explained in the wiki. It's explained in the Japanese version.
I guess Yugi got fed up enough with Kaiba's use of plot armor cards, so he decided to start using them himself.
Yugi, I never thought you'd take such a cheap shot at my Egyptian god card.
But isn't that exactly what you did, with power balance making Yugi ditch half his hand? Yugi already attempted to attack Obelisk earlier, and then went into main phase 2 after it failed, activating Necromancy. Now he's trying to make another attack. It's YCS Denver all over again.
And it let you stop our battle before Slifer was unlucky enough to collide with Obelisk.
Electromagnetic Turtle is during your opponent's battle phase. It was mighty convenient that they changed it so it was during Yugi's turn so he wouldn't kill himself by attacking Obelisk. Gotta cut back to Mako and Rex to remind all the viewers that there's still characters in this show. Card of Sanctity requires you banish all of your cards in your hand, minimum 1, then draw 2 cards. But of course they had to change it so Yugi wouldn't just automatically lose with Slifer only at 2,000 attack. As redundant as me mentioning these things are, it is also getting extremely repetitive and annoying when the show just keeps doing this so Yugi can win. Why not just write it so Yugi just doesn't win by an asshole and it feels like he actually outplays Kaiba? Oh wait, because that would require good writing skills. Do you think Kaiba Corp has to pay for all the screens they just broke?
These are ancient versions of ourselves!
What clued you in on that? The fact he sounds just like you? Or the fact that he has the same exact hair as you? I doubt many people have that hairstyle, especially during the age of the Pharaoh.
Mine's been playing tricks on me.
You'd think at this point that Kaiba would stop chalking this all up to his mind playing tricks on him, like when he could start reading Egyptian yet not knowing the language at all, or when he and Yugi were in the same flashback at the same time.
Wasn't that the same card art for the guillotine used during the Arcana duel? Why are they using it for Card of Demise now?
On the duel disc, you can see that Obelisk the Tormentor is in attack position, but in the actual context of the duel, he's in defense position. Why is nobody stopping Tristan from moving a severely injured person around like a rag doll?
Joey needs to see this. It might make him wake up.
Yeah, seeing that your friend is in trouble will make you wake up from your coma and crippled body. Great idea, Tristan. We'd like to interrupt this very important duel with a Joey dream sequence, where he's dueling someone's DeviantArt OC. How else are we going to milk these duels for another 7 episodes?
That your flute works on my hand as well!
How come Yugi always gets to keep using other people's spells saying that it affects his side of the field as well? Like right now, how he's using Flute of Summoning Dragons to bring out his red eyes. Did Kaiba just forget that Spellbinding Circle was there? I mean, I can't really blame him, considering how much this duel's been interrupted by Joey dream sequences.
I was in critical condition a minute ago.
Come on, Doc, don't you know how anime works? Main character injuries don't actually matter unless it's plot relevant.
And for that, he'll need a polymerization card!
Can you really be sure, Yugi? Joey didn't need polymerization, so maybe Kaiba won't need it either this episode. Here's another example of them giving the quick play ability to more spell cards. Magic Formula was even in the show earlier this season when Taya was dueling the Penguin, but gotta have plot convenience so Yugi doesn't lose. We literally saw this interaction last episode. Why are we recapping it like it was a season ago or more? It's okay, Kaiba. We all know that Yugi cheated to win.
I'll accept this ridiculous challenge of yours. It shouldn't take too long.
Yeah, it's only 3 episodes this time. Shocking, really. How many times do we have to see Joey win in a flashback? Holy fuck, no wonder this took 3 episodes. Can you imagine waiting 3 weeks for this fucking duel to conclude, only for them to keep cutting away to a flashback that everyone already fucking remembers?
I know all about you and your face-down strategies.
Holy shit, even Joey's figured this out!
Magic cards don't work on GEARFRIED.
But GEARFRIED cannot be affected by equipped spells because anytime they are, it automatically is destroyed. So, good try, I guess, Joey?
There goes literally his entire deck.
Fucking hell, dude, we really gotta milk this shit. How many more fucking flashbacks do I need? It's really getting old where a villain has the perfect chance to win. Like if Merrick dueled Yugi right here, he's completely distracted, trying to focus on Taya wondering if she's okay, that he could easily win, but he decides, fuck it, we'll go win later. And now Card of Demise has the correct art? Can fucking 4 kids make up their mind?
But I'm gonna use a slightly different command code than you did, Kaiba.
So Joey just added in a command code and destroyed the monster instead of taking it. If we ignore the fact that they had this added effect, how the fuck would Joey even know the code? This isn't his card. He stole it from Kaiba. Do you ever wonder why it's called Blue Eyes White Dragon? Because in every scene that's in the anime, it's colored blue. Good old time wizard coming to save the day.
I know that Yugi has 2 Egyptian god cards and Marek only has 1. But Yugi's are gonna be tougher to summon to the field.
Now the show is even acknowledging the fact that just because you have more god monsters doesn't mean your deck is inherently better, because it takes more effort to summon all of them. Maybe they'll put some budget into drawing us next time too. Left Arm Offering is a spell card. With all the quote-unquote mind games Merrick is playing with all of his face-down cards, you think Yugi would use the Millennium Necklace to see the future. It's totally not like this is the whole reason that Shizu gave it to him. But I'm guessing that's because the show completely forgot its existence because it's not plot relevant right now. For as much as I think Merrick is a shitty villain and his deck is a complete gimmick that should have never worked in a real duel with anyone more than 3 brain cells, I am enjoying his taunting in this duel.
Fate has allowed the Pharaoh to draw the card you gave to him.
AKA the writers made him draw the 1 card he needed to win.
You must have given up! Why else would you place a card on the field without looking at it first?
Guess Merrick hasn't seen enough anime, because that means he's pretty much fucked when Yami does that. How is his floating eye exactly talking? In a close-up of Yami Merrick's hand, he's holding Monster Reborn after activating Zombie's Jewel. You could also see that he's holding Fiend Sanctuary, even though Kaiba said in the earlier episode that only he had this card. When Yami first drew Fiend Sanctuary and placed it without looking at it, you could see on the duel list that he has another spell or trap card set, but after the commercial break, when it re-shows him placing Fiend Sanctuary, only that card is set on the duel disc. Yeah, you can still see the other card on the field, just not on the duel disc itself. So apparently Deep Fusion gives back all of his life points now too.
Yugi wasn't able to successfully use the card I gave him.
What do you mean that was unsuccessful? If Merrick didn't just defuse himself from his own monster, giving back all of his life points for no fucking reason, then he would have won the duel and quote-unquote used it correctly.
Just do whatever it takes to defeat him.
I just noticed how okay Yugi is with everything that's happening around him. Like how he's being possessed by an ancient spear and how he's losing his body to a dark magic children's card game battle. You'd think that he'd put up some effort, but nah, Yugi's just a fucking blank slate wet blanket, as bland as a fucking saltine cracker, so he just goes along with all the bullshit that's told to him, without questioning anything at all. Hey Pharaoh, don't you think this is a little ridiculous?
Shut up, Yugi, you must believe in the heart of the cards!
When Merrick activates Monster Reborn, Ra's already shown on his duel disc. How come Yugi's the only one who gets to use Monster Reborn like it's a quick play spell? Like this is a mutually exclusive ability he has. Is that the power of the Millennium Puzzle? If it was, I can understand why people would want it so bad. Hey look, my Raigeki is now a quick play spell.
Obelisk's force becomes infinite.
Why didn't Kaiba use this ability of Obelisk during his duel with Yugi? He could have easily won then if he made Obelisk's attack infinity. Okay, I have to admit that this is a really fucking cool sequence of events. So you can look at Merrick right now and see that he's wearing 3 golden rings around his neck and a golden band around each of his arms. When he gives Yami the Millennium Rod and the Millennium Ring, he has no golden neck rings. As the scene switches over to him and the gang talking on the dueling ring, Kaiba yells at the group and tells them to get the fuck out. He still has no neck rings. Also, his left armband is gone. Once he announces the tournament has ended, it shows that he has 2 neck rings on instead of 3 and his armband has returned. But once Kaiba says that the duel tower is about to explode and it cuts back to the group, Merrick's left arm ring is gone again. Watch this. Where the fuck did it go?
even though you only won that duel due to Merrick's forfeit.
Only won by forfeit? He had 1 life point left!
Cause in 1 hour, this island will explode!
Why the fuck would you have your tower self-destruct? That seems incredibly unsafe.
Oh no!
Was that the oh no from Knuckles in the Sonic Adventure game?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Did no one realize the helicopter was right there as they were freaking out for the past 30 fucking minutes? Only Kaiba would nearly blow himself up to look super cool flying out of a Blue Eyes White Dragon jet.
Put that down!
Out of 30 takes, that was the best we got.
You were like a sister to me.
We've had a total of 1 whole conversation. That makes us sisters now. The entire last episode of this season is a flashback of what happened during it. Way to give your fans a big fuck you for watching the entire time. Hey guys, do you want a cool ending? Fuck no. Here's Taya recapping what just happened. It's not like you totally just watched that whole fucking thing transpire. God damn, we finally made it through this season. We can move on to something more interesting like the Orichalcos arc in Waking the Dragons. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, I ask that you please subscribe for further videos. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, where I give updates on my progress for these. And keep an eye out for when I stream on YouTube or Twitch, where I edit these episodes. Like I mentioned earlier, I do have a Patreon if you would like to support the show. And for those wondering, yes, after I finish Duel Monsters, I will be moving on to GX and further. And until next time, guys, peace.